Hey, can you do an imitation of me?
Which
Can you do one? Like, because I do you all the time. Can you do one?
let's see. Hey guys. It's like it's kind of like this, like. I'm
not gonna let you talk because you'll make the conversation.
Hold on. What was your? I'm trying to think of like a crazy question. Like, what was a life-changing moment for you? What was a life-changing moment for you in winemaking? Well, I was mixing to the point where I was saying that.
If you could solve all the world's problems, how would you? But no, it doesn't matter what you. Have you ever heard me do you? You've heard I've done it to you before. I do it on the WhatsApp all day.
You know what I said Thursday, if you want me to be part of it,
that's pretty good. I don't know. I'm not that good at that kind of thing.
I'm not a great imitator, but I can appreciate a good imitation.
That's because you straight up innovator. I don't know if you're an innovator. Are you an innovator? You think you're an innovator?
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what.
Don't say you're an innovator.
No, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I think I am. I think that I'm trying to, even though it's all out there on a ton of different non-kosher shows and on the Food Network and things like that, Jewish kosher cooking in the Northeast, at least up here, no one's inspired. You only have like Boris and Ed and guys like that.
I don't know if we made it official, but Jody's definitely one of my.
Are we in a legal state or illegal state? It's illegal? I don't know.
What, for us to be a couple? It's legal everywhere in the country. Just don't go down south and hang out. No, I'm trying to make a statement of my bro love and affirmation for the two people that really that helped this show go. Right? Everybody knows.
I feel that too.
Right? You feel that are our two people the same two people? I don't know. I feel there are two people that really helped me get the show going, and that's Svika, the producer, our Uber producer, Sigatal, right? And that's my wife. It's funny. We're not going to tell people what the inside jokes are, but I think if you watch the show, I guess sequentially I would go backwards to the first ones, so start with the newest ones and go down. You'll see a curve, but there's a lot of like little jokes that we peppered in the 9 months that we're doing this.
Yep.
So what is this that we're doing for the 9 months?
I think that we've been just creating, we're really the only guys out there creating genuine, kosher, informative content that has nothing to do with being, sponsored by the restaurants. We're not reviewers. We're just trying to give you guys information in a very fun way.
Yeah, well, I think our goal is to educate and entertain, right?
Yes.
Educate and entertain. And just like, your operation here at this joint, which we were not going to name, but your joint, right? Mm-hmm. Like you said, it's not innovation. You're just bringing something that's already amazing. You're just bringing it to a new audience.
But isn't that sometimes, especially in the kosher world, innovation?
I know. I don't like to use. I'm not going to call that innovation because you and I both know we did not come up with this.
I know.
Right? People go in front of the camera and just having a fun time talking about food and traveling. Are we the first people to do it? No. Are there other people doing it? Yeah. I think we're just trying to illustrate that there's a brand new audience of people who could really benefit from like television quality production.
For sure.
Right? And I think that's really what we spent the time, money, and effort. We've enjoyed it. Tesha Yarche Leda, baby. 9 months. 9 months we've been doing this, and we've traveled 35,000 miles.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
At least 35,000.
Many different formats.
Do we have
cars, planes?
We don't have a count, but we've done at least 35,000 miles.
Did we do any trains yet? Because we want to be able to be like,
I love
trains, automobiles, the whole, that's the only thing we didn't do yet.
I think I'm done with planes.
Yeah, for a while.
Not necessarily for a while. It's a necessary form of travel. Where are we supposed to be today?
Nolans.
Why aren't we in Nolans?
Hurricanes.
There's a hurricanes. Do we want to fly in a hurricane?
It probably would be like a fun ride, but like the end would not be good.
No. I'm just saying this because over the past 9 months, we've
had a few.
Have we had any scary airplane rides?
One time, well, you guys were around where the engines like literally went out, right?
No,
like,
the engines didn't go out. No. We just got struck by lightning.
Oh, yeah, that was what it was.
Struck by lightning. Twice.
Yeah, we just happened to get struck by lightning.
So I'm telling you, everything outside turns purple. It goes. Yeah, no.
And you now have like a superpower of some sort, I think. Okay, okay.
Well. my BS meter, which is already pretty. I'd say I'm like sub-level evil genius level of like how full of it can I be? maybe it's, it's magnetized a little bit from that energy. That's
Maybe I have telekinetic powers now. Maybe I don't.
you never know. Never. No, we had an emergency landing once.
That's pretty nice.
That was fun in Minnesota. You were there.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes.
That was fun. So what are we trying to do? What else are we trying to do? Are we trying to imitate or copy? Do we have any?
I personally
What's-
have.
What's
some,
the word?
It's not
Things
mentors.
that you
it's
copy.
people that
Things that you copy. Inspiration. Yeah. What are the
yeah.
inspirations? What were your inspirations for this?
My inspirations at all times when it comes to food, besides books and video and YouTube and things like that we watch from many different people.
Well, not
from
just
everything
that.
from Aaron Franklin to
You and
to-
I grew up. Well, first of all, let's talk about the classics, right? You got a Julia Child when you're a little kid. We grew up on television, so we're part of a certain different demographic, but we also grew up kosher and from environments, so we're like crossover hits in that way.
Yep.
We're not hits. We have that crossover appeal, maybe.
Yes.
I don't know. And like, to me, that's my inspiration. Is that I grew up with television. We're not reinventing the wheel. We
Yeah.
ain't doing nothing. It's there.
We're jobsing this.
Yeah.
The stuff was there. Jobs just knew how to market it and put it out
That's
there.
it. This is our Windows, baby.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to build. We are building. Now we're trying. Thank God, we've been very successful, and we thank you all. Thank you to the fans for the watching. We've reached over 4 million people in 9 months. It's a vanity number. Don't worry, but it still sounds cool.
I get recognized. I get recognized 20% of the time for not even food-related situations.
So here's what's funny. Judd, how did this show come about? Do you know this show? How did it come about to you?
So, I mean, a lot of people, especially in Baltimore, I used to go to school in Silver Spring, Maryland, which is very close to Baltimore, where you're from.
First of all, you said it wrong.
Silver Spring? No, not Silver. Silver Spring.
Yeah, I know, but if you don't know, you call it Silver Springs. And
Silver
to me
Springs.
already,
Silver Springs.
to me,
yeah.
Silver Spring connotates like many Silver Springs in the country. Silver Spring. When you
Silver
say
Spry.
no, when you say just Silver Spring, right? Correctly.
Yeah.
Now it just sounds like every other suburb called Silver Spring, which I'm sure there's probably like 500 in this
Like
country,
Coral
right?
Spring.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
this or
But
that,
you say
yeah.
Silver Springs, and I know you're talking about right outside DC, Baltimore, right? That's kind of like half a mile away from Baltimore.
Yeah.
It's not like that.
Depending on the traffic, half
How
hour
about
to
you can
45.
walk? Can you walk to Silver Springs on Shabbos? No.
No.
But if you're in Silver Springs, you can walk to DC, which is cool.
Yes, like 25 minutes, something like that.
Oh, if you're downtown Silver
Yeah.
Spring, it's 2 blocks.
But
2 blocks.
no, so basically I have a lot of relatives and friends in Baltimore, and they always kept telling me whenever I come in, they'd be like, yo, you should jam with this guy. He's really just pretty much exactly like you. Like, he's doing his own private stuff also. And
We got the button.
and this guy, besides the fact that he's doing a lot of stuff that you're doing, like as far as food, like different stuff, we are making actually different things, but the fact that we were doing like underground kitchens and private catering, and all at the same time is a very similar chiller to myself in many different ways.
Similar lifestyles.
Similar lifestyle.
Although I don't think my lifestyle's nearly as lifestyles as Judd's.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Lifestyles of the people eating on TV.
But we kept missing each other. You were supposed to come into Brooklyn a bunch of times. I was supposed to come to Baltimore a bunch of times. And then finally, the stars aligned, and
We spoke for 6 months before we met.
and then we had that David Choose night one time where we sat down. We were talking about what could come. And
Oh,
you were
that's
telling me
right. I
your-
forgot about
And
that.
you were telling me your vision, and
Took
I
you out
was
to
like,
dinner.
I kind of buy into that.
That was an interview.
Yeah, I like.
You know that was an interview, right?
I didn't, but I felt very confident that we were.
Judd,
I bought into what you were selling.
I have a secret to tell you. I have a secret. I don't hurt your feelings. I have a secret.
I wasn't their first choice.
I have a secret. But you gotta promise that you'll be okay with it.
I'll be okay with it.
You were not my first.
Well, a good mutual friend of ours, confirmed that before, and I think it was amazing that he even brought me up to whatever. Yost Shorts told me that he would have definitely, he was one of the original picks. I think that would have been a great choice also.
One of the original. Well, I think we could get him a segment at some point. I think that's part of the development of what we're going to do.
He's awesome.
Is we have our interest is that we recognize that there's an audience for this, and there's plenty of room for plenty of people. But we decided to plant our flag and probably be the first people doing it on a professional level as a content producer, not as a blogger. So there's rules about that, you know? There are things that we got to do. Like,
what do you think? What rules are you really referring to?
so like one of the things that I think that is very important that people understand, right? Like you said, right? We don't do reviews. We're not here to review. What are we here to do? We're like a television show. We're here to tell you a story. And good television to me is when you watch something for 25 minutes or whatever, and you walk away learning something new, so you feel like you're accomplished by sitting there watching the show for 25 minutes, and not like you wasted your time.
Okay, what do you?
Yo, you know what this is called? This is called burdock.
Oh, I thought Burdock from the A-Team? Ball Fondlers, the movie.
You gotta edit that one out. John makes jokes. People are like, I did John do. What John do? No, so you made up a good point about rule number 2. And I don't remember what was it? I said that's a rule 2. I said it.
No reviews.
Yeah.
Informative. Let's see, what else?
Like we're not commercials.
No, that's the best part. People can't wrap their head around that.
And from
Every
this
time we
you
go
make
to-
money.
What's your angle? What's your angle?
Our angle is to provide quality educational entertainment, just maybe about kosher and other Jewish topics. We can't really discuss it yet, but you know, we have like almost eight short documentaries in the process right now.
Nice.
Yeah. They're going on a different platform, a much more easily accessible platform, longer format.
Nice.
We'll make the announcement. Yeah. We got to talk about our 1 year anniversary, what we're gonna have to do.
Nice.
Also, another thing is funny. I have a little anxiety when I call restaurants and I try to explain what we're doing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's one of these great holes in the walls that doesn't really have a social media presence or any sort of new format of any sort of access to this new format of disseminating storyline.
Yep.
And what are you doing? You want to come and the video for what?
Yeah, they don't get it.
For what? You put it on television? We're like, well, we don't really, basically, but we're using the internet and all of its outlets more as, a broadcast network instead of putting it on television.
Yeah.
Which it will be on television, by the way, soon. Sooner than later, there's some work's done. Some work's in the done. Some streaming platforms.
I think it's also great to see the after effect with a lot of people. So like in other words, when a guy like Subra's Grill
That place is awesome.
or where they liked it so much that they literally have it on a loop in their store in the they don't even know what they just love it. They loved it so much.
Well, listen.
And Ace of Steaks, they loved it. They loved
Another rule, now it comes up to another rule as we're gloating about our success, which is not. No, we're really proud of our work, but it really, just to kind of build on what you said, when we go into these places, we always pay for our food as a rule because there's a certain credibility issue, and as a business and as a large entity already, everything's got to be above board. Some of our friends own places, they throw us a meal, we know that they're okay throwing us a meal, that's fine, we'll disclose it. A lot of these places that we go to, they can't afford to comp us a meal. We're not there to get free food. We're not food blogging, bro.
No.
We are there to create content.
Yes.
Food Network is not going to a place and being like, give me $100,
They
give me
have
a
a
good
marketing
video.
arm that makes sure that the commercials are filled up. They're not about that. They get to make what they want how they want it.
So, but really, like you said, it makes us feel great when we do go to a place that, we just make the video. And since we handpick everywhere we're going, so there's a lot of groundwork that goes on before. There's a lot of talk and communication that goes on before when we go to a place. There's a lot of planning about travel and everybody's schedules. And, you got to get the whole crew going. And when we go, people are really, thank God, I think we're really introducing this whole thing to a really brand new audience through the owners themselves. We do get owners that have seen our stuff, and we love that too because they get the joke.
Yeah.
But that brings us to another important rule. What is one of the stated goals of Tripping Kosher? I'm going to quiz Judd here, see if he knows. He doesn't know. We are not show me. We are show this. I say it all the time.
I don't hear that.
Maybe I say it to Tzvika a lot more. I think a stated goal kind of thing. Well, I know. I'm rolling my eyes with you too because we're sitting in front of a camera talking about it. But you'll never hear Judd or me.
We're not trying to shill ourselves.
Yeah, well, you'll never hear us. You'll never. I don't know if that sounds like we're
We're trying
not-
to shill ourselves.
Yeah, we're never trying to show ourselves. We're just gonna have to blur it out.
Yeah, I know. That's even better.
That's probably just blur it out. It's hilarious because then people know what it says
Yeah,
when you say
exactly.
that. Okay. No, I think no. I don't want to say it this way because it makes it sound like the shills are bad. We don't care about the shills. We just care about the stuff that we're producing, and we think that the content speaks for itself.
And there's a time and a place. We could have other formats in this media situation that are going to be that it can have things that can show us operating our businesses or things like that. But Tripping Kosher is not a part of that. It's not,
Yeah. We got to keep everything separate. It's not just about ourselves, but I think in general, the way that we talk on camera, I have a personal rule that unless I'm telling a story about myself specifically, you will not hear me say the word I. It's always we or this. And I don't know, I think that's why people are digging our stuff a little bit. Again, if I was modest, I'd be perfect. So, whatever. But trust me, we just want you guys to watch. We don't even have to be on camera. In fact, there's sometimes when Judd and I are having like a lover spat that we do trips without him. Without him. Do you know this, Judd? Do you have any words?
So what do you want to? What do we?
Yeah, no. So what's the deal? What's the deal? Sometimes we don't bring you.
I don't really understand it so much. I can tell you honestly that I think that the way that we've been doing this since we started it, we have a good rapport that I think is necessary for the videos when.
Good
they're
rapport.
out
You
there.
never talk.
That's the right reason. That's the perfect rapport for you.
Yeah. Yeah. You wish.
Hey, come on,
dude. I'm giving you a break from not having to hear me. For we roll like 20-hour days when we do these.
90% of the time I can't hear you. Anyways.
90% of the time he's
works every time.
blissful ignorance.
Yes,
you know what
yes,
I'm saying?
yes.
Incredibly blissful.
Yes.
Incredibly blissful. No. So the truth is, sometimes logistics-wise, we feel the show must go on. And so sometimes we have to take trips without you.
Yeah.
As sometimes you have to take trips without me and without Svika and without a camera crew, right?
Yeah.
Do we travel everywhere together? No. You go away without me?
Sometimes.
Sometimes you take your wife and kids places?
Very, very infrequently.
You need to be there. I don't understand why you don't invite me.
I'll invite you on my family trips.
You don't want none of that Dewey Cox.
No, I think so. I think we're going to be at a point where, thank God, we're both going to be able to kind of flip and float out.
I feel like there's litmus tests for things that show that we're able to handle each other in large spurts. The road trip.
I think you're valid in a certain way to say it's a different show.
I care about
It's
the
a
quality of the
different
show,
show.
and that means, like
No,
we said before,
you-
does that mean that when I'm not there, I think that
Lesser
that you
quality,
can't-
yes. Well, don't be.
No,
You're
actually-
fired.
I actually don't think that it's lesser quality. I just think
It's a different show.
It's a different show, and I think that whether
So
it's
maybe
serious
I have
or
a compromise.
Hold on,
Compromise.
even though it can be serious or. In other words, we're not just funny together. That's one thing about it. But we can honestly go into a slaughterhouse or a winery or something like that and be normal and be something like that, like a slaughterhouse or a winery or
think Chuck's upset about
or the Lone Star State.
The Lone Star State.
The entire state.
The entire state.
I think that those. I think we can also be serious, and if I'm not talking during the ones that were funny because we're going for a certain thing, when we're in a serious
I can be
situation.
silly when I need to be silly. Kosher King when I'm serious. Yeah, no,
exactly.
the
Say
more.
better, say better.
Bob Kasha.
But
how
I
are we
did-
going to translate that for our non-Talmudic scholarly customers?
It's gonna be hard. It's gonna sound like a lot
That's
of
what
gibberish.
Jewish discourse sounds like.
That's what, but I think that I think that there are other shows, there are other formats you can do. I think that the playoff works in every setting, and hopefully we're able to do them as much as we're just able to do them as much as we can.
Okay, so first I think we have to discuss what your function is on the show, because we got a 50-50 split here.
And we have a lot of people that are
most of the
confused.
audience,
Yeah.
but very confused. Half the audience, I would dare say, and this comes up a lot. They don't know who I am. I'm just the guy on the show. And for half the people we bump into,
This is the real reason I don't come on the show.
Yeah,
by
that's
the way.
right. That's really.
This
I'm mad jealous. You know this. I'm openly admit, what the hell, man? We travel. There have been cities. Yo, we went to Vegas. Can I tell a story? We went to Vegas, right?
Not that story.
Well, we still got that on camera. It stays there. We went to Vegas, and we're at a restaurant, Hummus Vegas, right? Hummus Vegas, great place. The video's coming out shortly, and whatever. Hummus Vegas, and we walk in and the owner's like, oh yeah, Trippy Kosher here, the funny guy, and I'm like, oh yeah, finally some recognition. Dude walks right by me and goes to Judd, right, and he's like, hey, what's up, the funny guy, you're hilarious, right? That happens more than often. That happens a lot. We go places.
I get that you're upset about that. I get it.
I brought him to Minnesota.
Don't take it out on the business. On the show.
No. I brought him to Minnesota, right? Where I thought, fine. I'm from Minnesota. It's my hometown, right? Repping the MN, right?
Yep.
Right. Go north.
Yeah.
Repping the MN.
That should have been all you.
True north. And I figured we would go places and it would be like, oh, hi, my sorry project is great, Trippy Kosher. No, Minnesota, it's more like, oh, hey, I saw that video there on the YouTubes. Oh, yeah, don't you know? That's an exaggerated version, although when I get on the plane, I do start talking. So we're in Minnesota among my peeps. My homies. and so we're in Minnesota, my home peeps, and nobody recognized me. They're all like, yo, John, hey! So I can't win. So in order to
kind of
combat that,
dilute that a little bit.
Yeah, I gotta dilute I gotta dilute the video pool a little bit. Although I have a compromise.
We have a rule, I thought there's never a week that goes by that I'm not in a video.
Yeah, no, that's a rule. That's a rule.
Fine.
We never do.
I don't care.
We do, our video drops during the week. There's never.
Have you seen a week without?
Compromise.
That part's the real thing.
I think I have another compromise. When we do a video without Judd, it's going to be titled Tripping Kosher, and then without Judd, and then like a womp womp.
I'm okay.
Yo, if you want to watch the Dairy Star one, where they put us on the marquee, we rolled up at like 9 o'clock in the morning. It was like, welcome Tripping Kosher, and it was the coolest thing. And then they took it down by the time we left.
Is he gone?
Judd was not at that one, even though he appears on video.
That was nice of them, actually, though.
No, dude, it was really cool. It was super cool. So that that's. We have disagreements about traveling. We have disagreements about bringing Judd on some trips.
Get out of hand.
We are acting as a startup. There is certain budgetary restrictions while we work on our negotiations. Thank God.
My agent has instructed me to hold out. Honestly,
to hold out. Yeah, he's holding. Don't worry. Judd's getting a payout. Judd's getting a payout already. It is a different show when Judd's there. So I think when it was just me, it's like more like, oh my God, better. Different. I think we should describe to people how we do our trip. How do we do our trips?
I mean, we try, because we all have different things going on. Every one of us, including the producer, editor,
or including the Uber producer.
But when we all have things going on, and when it's when we decide to travel, we're traveling like if we were going to go to New Orleans recently, the one that got postponed because of the hurricane. That was going to be morning of. We're leaving, and we're there. We're back at night.
What time in the morning are you at the airport? What time in the morning do you leave to the airport?
The gates are still closed at the security.
Yeah. What time in the morning do we leave to the airport?
6 something at least.
6 something?
Yeah, or earlier.
Earlier. Depends where you're flying from. Sometimes Judd meets us in Baltimore and flies out with us. If we're doing multiple leg trips, like we flew to Seattle from Baltimore. Right?
Yeah. Well, oh my God, that was.
So
crazy.
we were at the airport at what time? 4 in the morning. Yeah, I know, right? 5 in the morning, whatever it was, right? 4 or 5. We flew to Seattle, landed in Seattle at 10:30. What did we do?
Well, we
went shopping. Shopping in Seattle.
And we were there. We were in Seattle for only a few hours.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were there. We landed at 10 o'clock. We filmed 4 places. Got on a plane, flew to Vegas. Spent a late night in Vegas. Spent a day in Vegas.
Yep.
And then we flew to
Minnesota.
So we didn't even stay in a hotel. We just flew overnight.
Yeah.
Right. We stayed one night in a hotel, where I got introduced to roulette, which I love. Thank you, Judd. You've created a crippling habit. So we're traveling, and then we go to Minnesota overnight.
Yes.
We had that emergency landing going into Minnesota.
Yeah.
That was loads of fun. Mm-hmm. And then we flew out of Minnesota. We were home. You were home by 12 o'clock that night, right?
I thought we were landing in Chicago.
In Chicago, yeah. Judd woke up in the middle of the emergency landing, and we convinced him we were landing in a different city.
For like 5 seconds.
We could have got Chicago, Minnesota. It doesn't make sense to me.
It maybe doesn't sound like Judd, but it all sounds the same to me. We have doppelgangers.
We all do.
My mashgiach that runs my cruise right? My kid, my 5-year-old, thought I made the videos with him. His name is Elliot. And my 5-year-old was like, oh, you mean the videos with Elliot? And I was like, ha, he's like a Judd doppelganger.
I can see that in a little way.
A doppelganger. Doppelganger.
In a drop of a way, I can see that.
All right, this has been the Come Down. The Come Down is our opportunity to talk about the travels and the trips that we're taking. Maybe hash out some arguments between each other. A chance for us to, talk about our advertisers, producers, the business that we're in, and how we're doing it, have a good time. You want to get in touch with us? The email, do you know the email?
What? Oh,
Sup at trippingkosher.com. Sup. I put it on the bottom. SUP@trippingkosher.com.
Yeah, SUP@trippingkosher.com.
So thank you. This has been, we're going to try to do this as often as we can. We're going to do some live ones. We're going to give away some prizes. We're going to have a game show. We'll see you on the next Come Down with Judd and CW. All right, we give you top billing. Look at that, buddy. Judd and CW.
And your mother.
And my mom. My mom.